I am so tired of these frail.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Commando Cast. I'm Andrew, this is Mike, and today we're talking about murdering those little murder bears. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 44 of the Commando Cast. Today, Mike and I's frustration with, is it actually the Ewoks? Is it diceless characters in general? That's actually more of a better question, right? So yes,
Maybe that's a whole discussion in itself. Is it diceless characters or is it Ewoks?
That's what we're here for.
All right, good. Let's take it away then. Let's do it. So I would say, for me personally, I don't like the math behind Ewoks because there becomes a point in the game where the game is obvious that it's unwinnable. Like there's the lines of play have shrunk because in other games of Destiny, if your opponent can roll bad enough, you still have lines of play, and Ewoks take that away.
So that's interesting, actually, that you used exactly those words, which is at some point you know it's unwinnable, because that was a complaint you used to have against, not really a complaint against, but that was something you used to say about Amy's droid deck, battle droid.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like at some point you knew you couldn't win the game.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So that's actually interesting. But why? Okay, so let me ask you that question. Why did the battle droids not feel as bad as the Ewoks? Just because you had to roll in?
Yeah, well, battle droids had fewer tools in which to do.
Yeah, they're not yellow.
Unmitigatable damage.
Right.
So I think that's probably the big difference.
That's fair.
You know, the droids could just dead roll, right? They could roll blank, and then you have to roll a blank. It wasn't until the end of the game when they were doing the claim for Arena of Death and Strength in Numbers. Like those were really their only.
Well, and for them, strength. I mean, not that Ewoks don't, but strength in numbers has to happen early, right? So, I mean, the best droid would be like hit one indirect on everybody with maybe a +2, and then strength in numbers, and then.
And your removal was also relevant in that matchup. Like you actually could play removal, and it would do some work. Whereas with Ewoks, your removal, like most decks, 8 to 12 cards are removal, and those cards are not dead because they're still dealing with Crate Speeder and Chirpas die, but overall they feel really bad.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And actually, so that's interesting. I was having the discussion with Jeff this weekend about Crate Speeder because he likes it in that deck. He thinks it's good. I mean, I think it has value as well. But yeah, I would kind of expect that die to be mitigated most of the time, right? Because they're not using it on anything else.
What I find though is early on, it's less now because the deck has been around a bit. When I very first started playing against that deck. I wouldn't say you forget about Crate Speeder, but you get so used to pitching your removal to reroll, and the Murder Bear player would just wait until you claimed out, play the Crate Speeder, and then that was.
Yeah, but I mean that should only work one time, right?
But then if you've burned through a good portion of your removal suite, and some of the removal doesn't work on that particular die. I mean, it has to. Well, you're never going to easy pick an Ewok deck.
Unlikely to garbage shoot it.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. So, I guess that leads me into my question for you. Right? Are diceless characters a problem? And I ask this also because of what cropped up just this week. It was either yesterday or the day before with the Night Sister zombie deck. What is it? I saw it on the DB. It's the First Order Stormtrooper,
and 4
profitable, and 4 Night Sisters. Yeah.
I don't know if that seems fun. I don't know. That seems fun to me.
No, it's 5 Night Sisters, right? For 20. And then the Faust at 7.
7, yeah, correct. Yeah. And maybe there in it is my answer. Is I saw that deck and thought it looked fun. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But is it fun but Ewoks were probably fun on day one.
True. That's true. Yeah, and I don't know how impressive that deck is because we haven't sleeved it up or anything, and I haven't seen it on TTS. Although I've been on TTS in a couple days, I'm sure it's all over the place. But I personally do not feel that diceless characters are a problem. I don't think they're bad for the game. It's bad for the new player.
I don't know that it is, right?
It's bad against the culture of the game, which there's some inherent chance in the game.
That I agree with. And I do want to take just a minute. So, like, from a competitive meta standpoint, I don't think either Mike nor I think that Ewoks are like the end all.
No,
right? So
no,
that's not really what we're saying. Like, we don't think they need nerf.
No, they don't need nerf for anything.
The nerf, if there's going to be a nerf coming, I think it's actually on Hoth Trooper to require like a character, like a get the Ewok treatment, or require some sort of like running Hoth Trooper to run AR feels pretty bad. Like.
It is, I don't even know if I think that. I really don't think that deck needs any sort of character treatment on it. Yeah,
I'm not proposing it. Sure. I'm just saying that if one's going to come,
right.
Like, what are you going to do to the Ewoks? Like, deal half an indirect damage?
Right, increase their cost, which they
So
give them a balance of the force. That would be so funny.
Yeah, like they don't. But the Hoth Trooper, because Hoth Troopers, isn't he the only one who can run for splash? Oh, well, I guess you can run zombies, I guess.
Yeah, you technically can run zombies. Zombies do require another witch, though, to do something.
Right.
Hoth Trooper only requires that the character be ready or not exhausted.
Yeah, it has to be ready to deal with damage. But my point is for the splash. Like, I mean, that's really what... I mean, we've said
we don't even care about the one damage.
We've said it 1.5 million times before. Like, we never... Like, when we were dogging on Ewoks all through spoiler season, like, we never in a million years... considered splashing red into Ewoks, at which point they become amazing.
Real good. Yeah. So I certainly don't think they... Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they need any sort of game change, rules change. I think we need to learn how to beat them.
Okay. So then that leads us into really today's topic, which is... I mean, I think AoE is the obvious statement. I think everybody's up to speed on that. So other than, your favorite AoE cards like Fear and Dead Men and Sudden Impact... What are you really doing when you sit down versus Ewoks? What are you looking for? I'm assuming let's go ahead and assume you have 4 AoE cards in your deck.
Right. So I think 2 specific deck types have good matchups into Ewoks, and that is a deck that generates a lot of shields, right? Or a deck that can choke the money out of the Ewoks. The Ewoks, although they run kinship, right? That's the one. They run 2 copies of kinship.
Although we did argue last week, and I thought about it more, and I'm actually pretty positive that you should run Well Connected instead of kinship right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Because kinship requires 3 Ewoks. Right.
So at the end of the game, it's
dead. Right. Like round 2 or 3.
Right. I don't know. I know when I have tested Ewoks, I was playing Ewoks into a droid deck. The droid deck was able to take my money every round. So it just was like, I don't care what's happening, but you're not playing with money. And you can get a kinship off and get 1.
So I'm going to interrupt.
Sure.
For the rest of this conversation, let's assume that we're not playing droids, right? Like, because I don't want the answer to Ewoks to be droids.
Okay.
But it is.
Yeah. Fair so, enough. I mean, so either a heavily... area of effect damage type deck, right? A deck that generates a lot of shields and can withstand the damage, or a deck that can choke the money out of it. Because I feel like one of the best straight aggro decks is the Red Hero deck, right? Where you roll out all of your dice and you just kill everybody, right? Like I
think it's kind of Red Villain right now.
Yeah, even Red Villain, any deck like that.
I don't think Red Hero has it anymore, but
I don't see how that can withstand Ewoks still. Like, I still think there's a point in that game where it tips over to the Ewok player's favor, and then that's a problem.
Well, killing Ewoks obviously they'd prefer to have their guys alive, but killing Ewoks fuels their engine. So
right, yeah, So that to me are the 2 main ways that I as a player attack the Ewok deck. Is I will try to take their money, or I will try to generate shields. Now there are times like I'm just toying with a deck right now that's a red-yellow gun deck. That deck is going to have no competitive juice because it can't take.
Yeah, Beckett Iden. I was playing around bindering this week, and.
And that's a great, it's
a really
fun,
good deck, and it is a fun deck,
right?
But it's just not playable right now.
Not when there's Ewoks running around.
Or Beckett Talzin.
Ha! It does. Those do great into droids, I would say. Like, I think those kill droid decks because you can drop a character pretty easily. But against the Ewoks, No.
Yeah.
So that's so. What do you think? Like given?
Well, I mean, I think 3 wide. I mean, shocker, we're back to 3 wide. Like, I think you have to play 3 wide.
You know, it would be really good in 3 wide if we did supports. I think that might be that has some juice.
I'll look into that.
Okay.
There's this card called Tech Team. I've been meaning.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, and I guess Jabba he can pull Delve out.
Right.
No, anyway. So yeah, I don't know. And actually, so it's interesting you actually went to the shields because that's one of the questions I had set up. Right. So why are I know the obvious answer. So let me ask the whole thing. Right. Why are shields so effective when in most matches shields seem to be ineffective because they don't further your win condition?
For me, it's because of the indirect thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can, so if I'm playing a shield, let's say I'm playing Kylo and Rey, right? And I ping my Kylo shield over to Rey, and then I hit her special, and I get 3 shields on Rey. I roll a dice in, but I'm naked on Kylo. An aggro player who can focus his damage is going to take that opportunity to run that damage into Kylo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just kind of the. Whereas if I'm playing its indirect deck, I can be much more strategic. I can take 2 off Rey, leaving her with the 1 shield, and then taking 1 damage on Kylo. So it just allows me to be more strategic. But I've played against Ewok characters who specifically will hold their Ewoks until it's inopportune for me to do
Sure.
that.
Well,
Like,
I mean, that goes back to we've spoken to the skill of playing Ewoks,
Yeah.
right? Like, it is there. So then let's go to, like, a traditional shield deck. Like, let's say, like, a Qui-Gon Ayla or something. Does Qui-Gon Ayla have a good matchup? Because I don't know that it does.
I think I will say Qui-Gon probably not as much because he gets power from
Okay,
the
so
shields.
then, Yoda.
Yeah, that's a good
Ayla.
Sure. I think that's a favorable. I think that's a winnable matchup for the Yoda player. I don't think by any means it's a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know of any deck that slam dunks against Ewoks. Like, isn't that a testament to its power? Like as an Ewok, if Mike Jem sits down at a table, he's a skilled Ewok player, obviously, right? Like I can't guarantee you, but I bet there's not one matchup he sits across from and goes, "This is going to be hard." He's that deck is favored. I think
I bet
50% are favored.
I bet he wouldn't want to sit down against Padme Bush, but
okay,
that's probably not going to be in the top cut.
Correct. Right.
So
right. He's willing to take that to go to 6-1 and then make the cut. Right. Yeah. So
I mean, so there are bad matchups for Ewoks, but I don't think in the meta there are bad matches that can consistently meet Ewoks. Right. I guess is that a fair statement?
Yeah,
although I do have to say, Vader feels bad and good in Ewoks at the same time.
Yeah. Right? When it's working, it feels real good.
Like, yeah. I don't really know what else to say. Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, if you fear dead men for 4, like, I don't really
the game's
know what
over.
more there's to say.
Yeah.
Right. But
you have to catch them without any ability to defend themselves.
Right. But Vader also feels really bad against droids, which is why I think Vader's not a huge threat either. Like, Vader against droids is toast. It's bad. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that might be it, right? Is that Ewoks is just really well positioned with the droid meta.
Yeah, I feel like droids have a well played droid deck. I feel can do well against Ewoks.
I didn't mean that Ewoks were an auto win against droids.
Sure.
That's not what I meant. I just meant that
with droids around
most of the stuff that are nixing Ewoks.
Yeah. Die to
down
droids.
to droids.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Absolutely. Right. Yes. I completely agree. And then that leaves us with that original thought was you're like we're going to assume we're not playing droids. Well, those are the 2 choices you like. If we're having a regional tomorrow or a prime, I'm bringing droids. There's no.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
There's absolutely no doubt. I won't play Ewoks because I hate the little.
Now, are you bringing the 5-die chopper or you're bringing the 5-die Satine? That's the question.
I'm not bringing Satine. I probably go with the chopper.
Satine's so good.
Yeah, Satine is very good. But I think the chopper version allows you to is so flexible.
Yeah, I agree.
That's that deck can just either say I got to play aggro this game and do it straight up, or it can play for money and that. Chopper is and
his discard side is no joke.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And the ability to like power action and overwrite, and the next round power action that thing back in after you roll the dice in, and then up like on the what's the arm?
The salvage
arm. Oh, just
Or even the grappling arm. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you have 4 targets in that deck. I play Rocket Booster in ours. I don't think you have to, but like...
I laughed at that card so hard when I saw it. I'm like, this is the worst card. This has got to be the worst droid mod.
It is for 2, but it's not 2.
It's not, and Chopper can recur it, which is the part, I don't know why that never occurred to me. like, that it's a recurable card.
So I will admit that when I first saw it, I didn't get that either. But, art is important, right? And it's got Chopper on there. And Fantasy Flight consistently does that, where they're like, hey, hint.
You should probably be playing this card in your Chopper deck. Yeah. I know, like, I've been down on the droid meta, and I'm sorry about being pissy about it, but now that I've kind of settled into it a little bit and kind of learned to appreciate it, and I've also had some more success against it, and I know it's not as bad as I was making it out to be. I still think the Fateful Companions, I do think that mathematically doesn't work out, but Chopper, I love Chopper's design in the first place, and then to see him come in and have some good partners, I think it's like super fun.
Here's a off-color question, I suppose. Why was Chopper not legendary?
His old version was, right? His support version was legendary.
different times. Yeah, right? But they made R2 and 3PO were both legendaries, and they played off of each other. So it actually would have made sense to make one of them a rare and one of them legendary, and then actually do the same for Kylo and Rey. Right. Like, I think we were all pretty surprised when Kylo and Rey were
we're like, woo! Yeah.
And then when 3PO and R2 were both legendaries, we were like, oh.
So who is the natural pair for Chopper? Like, who?
Well, nobody, and that's why I'm saying I'm almost surprised like they didn't make Chopper a legendary, because I guess Han is the legendary.
Right. From that Chopper he didn't come out of Spark of Hope, did he? Was he a Convergence card?
Both Han and Chopper are from the same set. From Spark of Hope.
Oh, they are from the Spark of Hope. Okay. I'm getting there. All these cards starting to meld together. But yeah, no.
These kids these days.
Right, we didn't have all these legendaries when I was a kid. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's a good question. I just think Chopper is so fun. Like, and what a great point cost.
He's pretty good. Again, the discard side. Like, I think I've said that in the last 3 casts. Like, oh my god, that
don't sleep on the discard side.
So good. So
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's try to steer back to Murderin.
Murderers. That's right. Yes, sorry. Okay, so play Vader.
No, the droid discussion was relevant, right? So Vader's still a thing.
Yeah, I don't like Vader is mean. Like Vader, so we talked about how Mike Jem sits down with his Ewok deck and doesn't fear anything. I don't care what deck I'm playing. If you sit down with a Vader deck, I said this before, like I'm sweating already, like because that deck can just rock you. Like if you get caught with the wrong cards in your hand or no money, you're just dead. Like,
well, and didn't Braven? So Braven won the tournament.
Yeah, did that video hit up?
No, it hasn't yet. But I don't care. People get on me about spoilers. But
Braven wins. Yeah, Braven. Yeah, it's so
But Braven win. Didn't he seize the day in for 11?
For 9? Yeah, just straight up just
with it was 9 with the Vader saber, awesome. Right?
Because he does this early claim the round before. I'm like, that was dumb. And then he's like, oh yeah, seize the day. You're dead.
Yeah, and
that's funny.
And he didn't have to play it, but he also had a what's the Reach the Stars.
Oh so, yeah, he's like, I could have reached. That's good to know. I would have died either way. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it was his battlefield, right. So he would have gotten 2 rerolls. So
yeah, I think Vader. I don't know why. If Vader can kill Ewoks. Then
which he can.
You said the primary problem then is it dies to the droid, but doesn't Fear and Dead Men work against the droids?
But taking Vader's money is massive.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
So Vader, it's the same.
And again, it's not Vader's not an auto lose to droids, but it's a bad matchup.
Right.
Taking Vader's money stinks.
You blink one of his
Where else
dice.
is he getting his money?
Right.
By resolving his own dice, and you're perfectly fine with that if you're the droid player.
Right. Maybe you just play for Fist. If you're playing Vader,
but then they're still disrupting you.
Yeah. I hate those little droids. No way, I'm just kidding. I don't like that, but I figured out inventive ways around that. It's funny. I've had no problem with my
just roll 3s.
Yeah, my Bounty Hunter deck or I just roll 3s. It's super easy.
Whatever. I saw you play your games last week. You were not rolling 3s.
Yeah, I was rolling like garbage. It still ended up. I did pretty well, but yeah, I was rolling.
Well, the thing was, you would roll like garbage all game, and then you'd have a massive turn. Your statistics would all hit at one time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so I am surprised Vader hasn't kind of reasserted itself. I
just think people aren't playing him because he's not the new sexy. But like, I think Vader's still a thing. Like, I think it's the Vader droid retribution. I think it's better than Faust right now.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of arguments to be made about Faust as well, but
we know your love affair with retribution is well documented
right now. Again,
right.
Still trying to put it into a deck with a 15-point character. That's what I need to do.
So, since we're talking about murder bears and how to beat them, the German national tournament was this last weekend, and
Ewoks won?
No,
oh yeah,
right. So, funny story about that game. So I'm watching the final, and it's the Ewok player against the droid player.
Do you sleep? Is there a game you missed?
No. Well, I woke up and it was on because they were in Dusseldorf or wherever. I think they were in Dusseldorf. Yeah, I love Germany. Anyway, so the Ewok player comes out and just smashes face on the droid player, just like rocks him. And I'm like, this is over, right? So wins the game. Second game starts. He gets like this massive lead. The game is well in hand.
So it was an Ewok droid final.
It was an Ewok droid final. So I go on about my day, right?
It's almost as if we knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, I make some bacon, right? I'm cooking. I wake the kids up for school, or not for school, to go out and play. And then I come back like 2 hours later, and your Destiny's posted like, oh, well, congratulations to the droid player. I can't remember your name. Sorry. Good job. But the droid player who wins. And I thought, like, they got it wrong. Like, what? I was watching that match, and the Ewok player was so far ahead in that game. But funny story that the droid player was able to kind of come back, because I turned it off.
Like bouncing 3PO shields or what? Like,
I tuned out, because the game looks. Because remember, I said the problem with Ewoks is that you get to a point in the game when it feels that it's unwinnable. And I looked at that game and said, I'm going to go make some bacon.
Well, that game he lost, but there was 2 more.
Wait, he lost the first game. I watched the second game. It gets about a third of the way through the game, and I leave because the game is over.
Oh,
the game looks mathematically unwinnable. It's like 11 damage to 0 for the Ewok player. And I go make bacon, and when I come back 2 hours later, and the droid player somehow pulled it out. So congratulations on I would love to talk to that gentleman about, or lady, I don't know what that person is, but that person about how that game went down and what the secret was, because they figured out the sauce on how to.
So hey, if you're out there, if you are a watcher, we'd actually love to talk to you. Let's set it up and we'll do a 2 a.m.
yeah. Maybe we'll correspond over email.
No, we'll figure something out. But yeah, if you we would be interested to get that interview.
Yeah,
if you're interested.
So super fun.
Let's set it up.
So you tell me. Because we've been talking a lot about what I think as far as what beats the Ewoks, but I want specifically what do you think? As if I'm Mike, I'm new, I sit down across this local meta crushing Ewok deck. What are the things I should be doing if I'm running even a tier 2 deck?
So here's actually a sideways answer. Sarah brought Ewoks on Saturday, and she went over. So what I think everyone should do to learn how to beat Ewoks is throw an Ewok deck together. And the reason I don't think that's an unreasonable request is because it's like a $6. It's like a $6 to $8 deck, right? There was actually a conversation going online. I think it was either yesterday or the day before about budget decks.
Right. Is it good? Right? Is it good for the game?
It's like, is it good that the one of the best decks in the game is $8? And the answer is. Not from a product sales standpoint.
Right.
I mean, that is the economics of the game is something we all have to worry about whether you want to or not, right? But that's not the point of this discussion. But yeah, I think everybody should try and put together an Ewok deck. Just proxy it. Guess what? You don't need to die for the Ewok.
Right. Yeah,
take a little note card.
Post-it note, Ewok.
Do the little tap symbol. Grenade, that's all you need.
Use a Hot Wheel. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just put it together and run it, because when you get ripped up 3 games in a row, you're going to figure out what you're doing wrong, or you're going to figure out what people are doing to beat you. Right? You're either learning from your mistakes or you're learning from other people's good moves. So I think everybody should put together an Ewok deck and run it. I don't know, 8 times, 10 times.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's super good advice. And that's funny you bring that up, because the reason why my win percentage started going up against Ewoks is when Eric made his mill deck, his droid mill deck, he's like, hey, I put this Ewok deck together, can you run it into the mill deck?
And his was a Hyperloops list, right?
Yeah, his Ewok deck he just pulled right off the Hyperloops, right? So I played it, And as soon as I played it and kind of saw what it did, and I saw what I didn't want my opponent to do, it did ended up helping me, like, in that matchup. And I will say, a really, really good Ewok player makes that game almost unwinnable in most cases. But a new person who shows up with the Ewok deck, like, you have a very high percentage chance. Like, it's not one of those decks where they just... Like, it's not like Vader. A bad person can show up with Vader and just roll a bunch of dice and kill you. Ewoks does not work like that. Like, they have to pilot that.
And it's both, though, right? Because you definitely need... And that's why I think you need to run the Ewok deck and get... I'm not saying you need to get super good with it, but you need to understand when you roll in where you want your indirect to go. Right. Because when you're on the other side of the table, you need to understand where they don't want their indirect to go.
Yeah, that's...
Right,
Absolutely.
That's really what I mean. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, when you roll in your Ewok, you don't have a choice where that indirect goes. Mm-hmm. But if you're playing against a player who makes mistakes, you can make their game significantly easier. And your job is to not make those mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? And I will openly admit, I haven't 100% figured out how to do it. Like, I haven't.
To pilot the Ewok deck?
No, to defend against.
Oh, no, well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm playing Raylo, which is that's the example you use for shields, and I was like, that's actually not fair because that's not what I'm talking about. Right. Raylo is a great match for Ewoks.
Yes, that's
right? But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, yeah, just run it and figure out how to beat it.
I think that's super, super smart.
Right?
Yeah.
So, that's actually all I had on my list. You got anything for this week? I know we're a little short on time now, so
no. So I wanted.
I'm sure the folks won't mind if it's a short episode.
Yeah, no. I just want to reiterate what you said. I am not advocating that Ewoks need any sort of change. I think we need to get better, and also it would help if we were a little more imaginative too. Like if you're tired of, like I said this before,
I think the pairings are pretty well exhausted at this point. Like,
are they? Like, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff out there. I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to see Ewoks,
Mace Satine built to last. Can we talk about that deck?
Oh my god!
So Jeff came down from Olympia and did not run this deck in the tournament because he's a great guy and doesn't like beating us, which we appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, sir, I'm giving him. No, so he whipped this deck out right after the tournament, and I walked over and he was playing Mike, and it was like this wide board of stuff, and Mike goes, "It's round 2."
Yeah,
they were just starting round two,
and he had 6 upgrades.
And then by the end of round 2, he fatal blowed you for like 10.
Yeah,
I think that deck is no joke. Satine is amazing. Like, she rolls in money. It's like, oh, I hit a focus on the other one. I guess I'll re-roll my focus. Oh, I didn't get money. I guess I'm sitting on a focus. Like,
yeah,
Satine he's 10 points.
Right, and what makes that deck good, just in the current meta, I would say, is that back to therapy card. I saw him.
Absolutely.
I saw you play him with your Maul deck, and you laid a bunch of smackdown real quick, as that deck is prone to do at times, and he erased a round and a half of damage that you put into it.
He just took off 5 damage, and he's like, no problem, because Satine made me 4 money. So.
And it cost him, I mean, it did cost him 2 resources and a card, which is a heavy cost, but the deck, its win condition is gather upgrades, and this card comes in that should be hard to play with, because, mostly you only can carry 3 upgrades, so 2 for 3 is bad. 2 for 5, real good. Right?
I mean, it was intended for Palpatine, it was.
Right, yeah. So it like, that deck is, I'm shocked that deck doesn't see more play, because it is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, so we had a request come through today, the day that we're shooting this on the YouTube channel. Actually, someone was like, can you please run an Admiral deck versus an Admiral deck? And I was like, no, but we might be able to run a Mace Admiral versus a Mace Satine and see how that goes.
That would be really interesting. And it's funny, Jeff's such a nice guy. Like, he at the end of the tournament, he didn't run. He's like, hey, you want to play a game? And and I'm like, yeah, we haven't played. He's like, I've been coming down. We haven't got a chance to play it. We just keep missing each other. And he sits down and he doesn't apologize, but he kind of apologizes to me before the game even starts, right? Because I'm like, and I'm pretty sky high because I just won. I got second. I got second, but I had a really good day.
No, you got third. I got second.
Yeah, I was in the final table but lost.
But you did well.
Yeah, I did well, and I sit down, and I only had 1 deck put together that day, and he just housed me, and I could see it in his face. Like, he was not pleased with dumpstering me the way he did. But man, that deck, and he runs it well. The man can kick your butt with that deck and not even put his dice on the table. He's like, I'm gonna play this blaster, and you know what? I don't even need a die. I'm good. I'll just kill you. That deck is fantastic.
Oh, rub salt in the wound.
Shots fired, Jeff. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I think that deck's really good. Because I keep forgetting about Satine.
Yeah. She's still the best value in the game.
No, and actually, I was running the numbers earlier after I played it, because I played multiple games with him this weekend with that deck. Mm-hmm. And I actually think Satine's mathematically broken.
Because she's 10 elite or 11 elite? Is she 9, 11, elite, or 8?
She's 10, so that's why. So Mesa 16, Built to Last is 4. She fits in perfect, right?
Her sides are busted with a reroll.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, she's 9 health too, right? Like that's it. Like if she was 8 health, I think. I don't know. I mean, again, she's not winning anything. No. So she's fine. Yeah. I'm not saying she needs to change, but I think she's mathematically above the curve.
I think that's a character that, obviously, Droid Satine is
and it's no accident that it went into the starter, so we all had to buy 2 of them. It's no.
I will say this though. I think a lot of times when they're testing those starters, they probably test the starters at a little bit of a vacuum, like with Obi-Wan, with that not so good Obi-Wan in the starter that it comes with. Is that Obi-4?
3.
3? Okay.
And sure. We all know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'll put him on screen.
The one in the Jedi armor.
The one who can power action to increase a 2 for plus 1.
Yeah. It's like, with her, she isn't that amazing, because he's, 18 or 19 points.
So that's interesting, right? Because if you're looking at the 2 starter, the Grievous starter is one of the greatest starters we've ever seen.
That starter, put 2 of them together and you have a fully playable deck.
Yeah.
Ask some people that come up from Salem. That is seriously, Andy. He was deck building was super easy for him to figure out to start with. He took 2 starters, crammed them together, and then made a deck, and it got really good.
He's like, you all spent $200 on the last set
to fully entertain. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. Yeah, I agree. That starter was tight.
Yeah. So anyway, my point is, if it's just the starters being played against each other,
how is that even a match?
Well, because I think Satine's pretty good.
Yeah, but but
it was because it's single. Oh, but it's only single dice Satine. I think it's only single dice Grievous too, though.
Yeah,
you only get 1 Grievous.
They had a really bad plot that you were supposed to play in that. Didn't they have astrogation? No. In the starter.
In Obi?
Yeah.
No, it was the one where you exhaust it to flip a die to any. No, sorry, you sack it to flip a die to any side.
That is so bad.
2 points for a sack.
Trust the
2 point
force flow. Or,
yes, whatever.
Whew, that sucks.
A card we don't even know the name of because it's so bad.
Yes, that card.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, so play Satine if you haven't played Satine. I think there's a lot of very.
But don't play 5-die droid Satine.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy. I think there are a lot of fun big little combinations right now. I've been having a lot of fun playing R2 and that bad Obi-Wan. Or no, I'm sorry, not the bad Obi-Wan.
He's not bad. The 19-point Legacies Obi-Wan.
Yes, that one. I like that one. So R2-D2, that deck is super fun.
Flip to the top side. It's a 3.
Yeah, I mean it's that deck is super fun, and R2-D2 can finish some games.
R2 is good.
Yeah,
and R2 that R2 Chopper 3PO deck's so good. Sorry.
No,
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, so I think there's a lot of fun big littles. The one I've been playing with just for fun because I like Focus Fire so much is Zeb and Fen Rao. It just because his are gun sides.
Just a reminder to everyone: Zeb can resolve his melee sides as if they're showing range.
Right. So
you don't forget. So he is number 2 on my list of characters that I thought was going to be #amazeballs and was not.
Yeah. Except with Yoda in trilogies, right?
I paid $13 for a Zeb
yeah. Oops. That deck is with Focus Fire. It's super fun. You can, and I run resistance rings, so I can recur the and it gives
that's sexy.
Focus. Yeah, so it's mostly all red,
and you can drop your resistance ring for an indirect.
Yeah, everything I can do Riot Shield. I do it indirect, right? So just
doesn't that only have 21 health?
It has 21 health, correct? But I'm running double first aids with resistance rings, so that's. I'm not saying it's
double
good,
field medic,
but it's fun. Field medic. Sorry, so it's fun. It's not
the clarification there is because first aid only heals red
characters, right? Yeah, I'm running field medic, and then But with all the cool red upgrades now, like what's the rifle we like that's a 2 disrupt side that's redeployed?
Oh, A300.
Yeah.
That card's amazing.
Yeah. So
do not trade your A300s, ladies and gentlemen. That card is good.
Yeah, it's good. So it's just one of those interesting, like, we don't always have to play like the best.
Zeb's not a leader. He's not, right?
He's not a leader. No, he's a
no conscripts.
Spectre. Yeah, conscript was, but
who do people go for first?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I've only been.
I thought you said you were playing it.
No. I've been playing with it in my brain.
Oh.
But I don't care because if they go for Zeb first, right? He's got 12 health with me.
Well, I was just thinking but that's what I was thinking. If they go for Zeb first, then you can play conscript.
But she's not a leader though.
No, but that's why if they go for Zeb first, you can play conscript because Fen Rao is a leader.
Yeah. Pilot trooper.
Oh, Fen Rao's not a leader.
Yeah, pilot trooper. Yeah.
Okay, my bad, kids.
But Measure for Measure's on board, which is super good.
My bad.
I'm playing Rebel Assault.
All right, so how come, I was thinking about this the other day, how come there's no Imperial officer for the light side just because heroes can't have good things?
Sucks, man.
Yeah. Like, Imperial officer is a really, it's not great. It's really utility. Right, like flipping your Mega Blasters into its 3 side to hit for 3 direct feels really good.
For 5 sets, Hero was bad. I mean, come on, like this is the way the game goes. Like
for 5 sets, Hero was bad, and then we had Droid, and then we had Milpocalypse, and then we had Droids.
Yeah, it's like you can be good.
Just play villain.
You can be good Hero, but you have to also be annoying.
We'll get that on a shirt.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good. Well, that's all I got today.
Yeah, let's put this to bed. So. All right, what do we got coming up? So Monday Night Dice. Here's the actual spoiler news. I'll actually be at Monday Night Dice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been weeks.
It has. It's been a rough couple of weeks for everything in life. So
so Monday, so I've got Monday Night Dice.
No special events.
No special events. Although we are going to be running next month. We're going to run a Spot Glass tournament. So it will be on a Thursday night, and it will with 2 weeks notice. We're going to be the prize will be a Spot Glass of one of our spot glasses.
Executioner.
And you will have to run said character in your list.
Oh, that's sexy.
In which to win said spot glass.
Oh, I like that.
And then we'll also be, we'll have extra cards because not everybody has, like we have a Vader, right? Like, so it'll be a Vader off, but not everybody has Vader.
Dude, I'm not coming to a Vader off.
You're coming to whatever I tell you you're coming to. Come on now. It'll be super fun. But we have different...
the Executioner or the Faust? The Faust spot glass. Do you have one, don't you?
I have one,
yeah.
I want that. Yeah, but we have an AR spot glass, right? We have a Palp spot glass. We have
an AR off, so I just need to pack my desperate measures.
Right. Yeah, but since everyone's bringing it, I think it will be very interesting to see what people do tech against, knowing what everybody's bringing at one character. Like, so that will be...
So I can just bring Ewoks.
As long as you don't want to win the spot glass.
For AR?
Oh, yeah, for AR. Yeah, for AR. Yes. But people could tech against Ewoks.
Yeah.
So that's... And our plan is to do that once a month. I think we're going to have our first one next month.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's our new... Woo.
So Smugglers Run Gaming.
Yeah. Come down on... It'll be on
book your hotels now. They have blocks available at no rate.
Right. You can sleep in the parking lot.
So... Okay, cool. Yeah, and then just standard Gungai. Again, we were really planning on doing Trilogy like once a month. That was a plan, but Trilogy's just not good.
It's not good. It's not good. Nope. We could have a whole episode with why is Trilogy so bad when it used to be so good.
Yeah, I actually don't want to do that episode.
Okay.
Because positive, remember?
Oh, yeah, we're all about positive.
Yeah.
Around here.
So, no, man, I do miss the Legacies meta. Legacies was so good.
Yep. That was...
so good.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing me down, bro.
Anyway, let's put this to bed. So, again, if you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, give Mike that belly rub.
I love it.
Go Commando.
Go Commando.